A 250-pound bodybuilder laughs at Bruce Lee and says, "You're too small to fight anyone my size." 8 seconds later, that same bodybuilder is on his knees, gasping for air, completely helpless. What happened in those 8 seconds didn't just prove the bodybuilder wrong. It shattered everything he thought he knew about strength, power, and fighting. And it all started with 5 simple words that would change both their lives forever. Los Angeles, June 1967. Tuesday afternoon. The Ironhouse Gym on Venice Boulevard. This isn't some fancy fitness center with smoothie bars and chrome equipment. This is where serious lifters come to prove themselves. Iron plates stacked against brick walls. Wooden floors worn smooth by decades of heavy deadlifts. The air thick with chalk dust and the metallic smell of iron. The gym door opens. Bruce Lee walks in. At 26 years old, standing 5'7", and weighing just 135 pounds, Bruce looks completely out of place. Every other man in this gym is massive. The smallest guy here is probably 190 pounds of solid muscle. Bruce sets his small duffel bag in an empty corner and begins his warm-up, simple movements. Arm circles, hip rotations, leg swings. To the bodybuilders watching, it looks like he's wasting time. But then Bruce starts his actual workout. And it's unlike anything they've ever seen. He drops down and performs one-arm push-ups on his knuckles. Perfect form. Controlled movement. Then he switches to something that makes several guys stop their sets and stare. 2 finger push-ups. His entire 135-pound body weight supported by just his index and middle finger. Going down slowly. Pressing up explosively. Perfect control. 20 reps. Switch hands. 20 more. His breathing remains controlled. No strain. Just focused precision. A few bodybuilders nudge their training partners. They laugh. They're not impressed. They think it's a trick. Think anyone could do it if they weighed as little as Bruce. They go back to their bench press. Back to their world where strength is measured in pounds lifted. But Bruce moves to the heavy bag hanging in the corner. No gloves. Bare knuckles. He starts hitting. The sound is different. Not the dull thud most people make. Sharp cracks, like a whip snapping. Each punch sends the bag swinging harder than physics should allow for someone his size. Now more people are watching. The speed is undeniable. The power is confusing. The bag moves like it's being hit by someone much bigger. That's when Mike approaches. 6'2", 250 pounds of solid muscle. Arms like tree trunks. Chest like a barrel. This is a man who benches 400 pounds for reps. Squats 600. Deadlifts 700. He's competed in Mr. California twice, placed 4th both times. In his world, those numbers define what strength means. Mike crosses his massive arms over his chest and waits for Bruce to stop hitting the bag. Bruce feels the presence, finishes his set, turns around, looks at Mike with a neutral expression, no hostility, no fear, just awareness. "So," Mike says, his tone dismissive. "What are you training for?" The question isn't curious, it's challenging, like he's really asking. "What gives you the right to be here?" "Martial arts," Bruce says calmly. Mike nods slowly. Says, "Martial arts," like he's tasting spoiled food. "You know martial arts is about technique, right? Not real strength." Mike's voice gets louder. Other guys start watching. "Real strength is what we do here. Moving serious weight. Building real muscle. Real power that you can see and measure." Bruce doesn't take the bait. Doesn't argue. Simply says, "Strength means different things to different people." Mike laughs. Not friendly. Condescending. The laugh of someone who thinks they're talking to a naive child. Strength means how much you can lift. How much muscle you have on your frame. How much force you can generate with your body. That's strength. That's power. Everything else is just speed and tricks. The gym has gone quieter now. Fewer weights clanging. More attention focused on this corner. Mike continues, gaining confidence from his audience. You're what? 130, 140 soaking wet. 135. Bruce says matter of factly. Mike laughs louder. I'm 250. Solid muscle. I bench press 400 pounds. You probably bench what? 150. Maybe 200 if you're strong for your size. His voice carries across the gym now. That's not real strength. That's just maintaining your own body weight. Real strength is moving serious weight. The kind that separates the strong from the weak. Bruce stays calm. There are different types of strength. Mike waves this away. That's just talk. Excuses for people who can't build real size. Then Mike says the words that will change everything. Look at you. You're too small to fight anyone my size. I could just grab you, hold you down. Your speed and technique wouldn't matter. The words hang in the air. You're too small to fight. Bruce looks at Mike, then asks quietly, You think size equals fighting ability? I know it does, Mike says confidently. What if I could prove otherwise? Mike grins. You want to fight me? Bruce shakes his head. I can show you something in 8 seconds. Show you that size isn't what matters. Mike is intrigued. The whole gym is listening now. Okay, show me. Try to hit me, Bruce says. Mike laughs. You want me to try to hit you? Yes. 1 punch. Your best. I'll hurt you. You won't. Mike looks around. Everyone is watching. He can't back down now. Okay, Mike squares up. Takes a boxing stance. He's not a trained boxer, but he knows the basics. Bounces on his feet. Bruce stands relaxed. Hands at his sides. Not a fighting stance. Just standing. Mike sees this and gets confident. The gym falls completely silent. Mike takes a breath, commits. Throws a right cross. His best punch. 250 pounds of muscle behind it. Fast. Powerful. The punch travels toward Bruce's face. Bruce moves. Not away. Forward and to the side. 6 inches. The punch passes where his head was a split second ago. Bruce is now inside Mike's guard. Close. Too close for Mike to reset. Bruce's right hand shoots out. Open palm. Strikes Mike's solar plexus. Not hard, just precise. Mike's breath exits his body. All of it. At once. His diaphragm spasms. He can't inhale. His hands drop to his stomach. His mouth opens, gasping. Nothing comes in. His face goes pale. The animal panic of suffocation sets in. His knees buckle. He doesn't fall, but he bends forward. Hands on knees. Making small choking sounds. 8 seconds from punch to helplessness. 8 seconds to dismantle a man who outweighs Bruce by over 100 pounds. The gym is dead silent. Nobody moves. Nobody breathes. After 30 seconds, Mike's diaphragm resets. Air comes back. Ragged. Painful. He straightens slowly. Looks at Bruce with confusion and shock. Bruce asks if he's okay. Mike nods. Can't speak yet. What you just experienced, Bruce says quietly, is the difference between strength and skill. You're strong. Really strong. You can move massive weight. But fighting isn't about moving weight. It's about moving people. Bruce's voice carries in the silence. And people don't cooperate like barbells do. Mike finds his voice. That's a trick. There are no tricks in fighting, Bruce says. Only things that work and things that don't. What I did works. What you believe, that size equals fighting ability, doesn't work. But in a real fight, I just did it. Bruce interrupts gently. In front of 15 witnesses. In 8 seconds. Mike has no answer. I'm not trying to humiliate you, Bruce continues. I'm trying to teach you. There's a difference between gym strength and functional strength. You've built an impressive physique, but you've never learned how to use it in combat. Bruce pauses, then says something that surprises everyone. If you want to learn, I can teach you. Mike looks shocked. "You'd teach me? After I said you were too small?" "Yes, because you learned something in the last 8 seconds. You learned that you don't know what you thought you knew." That's the first step to real learning. Humility. Most people never get there. "You just did." Mike is quiet for a long moment. Then, "Okay."
"Teach me? Not today,"
Bruce says. "You need to recover. Your nervous system got shocked. Go home. Process this. If you still want to learn next week, come to my school." Bruce hands him a card. Junfan Kung Fu Institute in Oakland. Mike takes the card. Still shaken but intrigued. 1 week later, Mike shows up at Bruce's school. Nervous, out of place. The school is different from his gym. Smaller, more focused. Less about show, more about substance. Bruce sees him walk in and smiles, genuinely pleased. "You came. That takes real courage." Mike speaks quietly. "I want to understand what you did. Want to learn what I don't know." Bruce nods. "Good. That's the right mindset. Let's start." But Bruce doesn't start with techniques. Doesn't jump into teaching punches or kicks or throws. He starts with concepts. The difference between static strength and dynamic strength. Between isolated muscle development and integrated body mechanics. Between raw force and precise timing. Mike listens carefully. Takes notes in a small notebook he brought. This isn't about building size. It's about building capability. About making the body work as a unified system instead of a collection of individual muscles. The training over the following months is deeply humbling for Mike. He realizes how much unnecessary tension he carries. How his years of bodybuilding have made him strong but rigid. How his impressive size is actually a limitation in ways he never considered. Bruce works with him patiently. Never mocking. Never condescending. Just teaching. Breaking down his deeply ingrained movement patterns. Teaching him how to move efficiently. How to generate explosive power without excessive muscle engagement. How to actually fight instead of just looking like he could fight. Over months, Mike transforms. Not physically. He's still 250 pounds. Still massive. Still looks like a professional bodybuilder. But he moves differently now. Lighter on his feet. Faster in transitions. More controlled in every action. He learns to use his size properly. Not as a crutch to rely on, but as a tool to employ strategically. Combined with proper technique, his natural size becomes devastating. He's still not as fast as Bruce. Never will be. Bruce's speed is the product of a lifetime of training. But Mike becomes effective, dangerous, capable. A 250-pound man who can actually fight is a serious problem for anyone. Mike becomes that problem. One day, Bruce tells Mike something important. "When we first met, you dismissed me because I was small. But you were open enough to learn after being proven wrong. That's rare. Most people's ego won't allow it." Mike asks why Bruce didn't humiliate him that day. "Because I've been dismissed too," Bruce says. "Told I'm too Chinese, too small, too different. I could have used that moment to feel superior, but that doesn't help anyone." Bruce continues, "Teaching you helps you. Helps me. Helps everyone you'll eventually teach. You'll go back to your gym. Tell them what you learned. Some will dismiss it like you did. But some will listen. Some will come here. They'll learn. They'll teach others." Bruce looks directly at Mike. That moment wasn't about proving you wrong. It was about planting a seed. Years pass. Mike integrates martial arts into his life. Becomes known as the bodybuilder who can actually fight. When people ask, he tells them about Bruce Lee. About 8 seconds that changed his life. Some listen. Some train. The seed keeps growing. In 1973, when Bruce dies suddenly at age 32, Mike goes to the funeral. He sees hundreds of people. All touched by Bruce in different ways. All changed. Mike realizes he's part of something bigger, a legacy. Bruce taught that strength comes in many forms. That 8 seconds can change a lifetime. That being proven wrong is the first step to being better. Mike continues training for another 30 years, passes on what Bruce taught him. Not just techniques, philosophy, understanding. When young bodybuilders dismiss martial artists, Mike tells them his story. The ripple continues. That's what 8 seconds created. Not just one lesson, but a chain of growth. Of people learning their assumptions might be wrong. Of people discovering that being proven wrong is the first step to being better. Who have you dismissed because of their size, their appearance, their background? What assumptions are you carrying about strength, about capability, about what really matters? Because 8 seconds is all it takes to prove those assumptions wrong. Bruce Lee gave Mike those 8 seconds. Gave him a lesson he didn't know he needed. Who needs your 8 seconds? Maybe they're the ones who can teach you what you need to learn.